Hey guys, this is Moon. So in this video, I'll be going over how to use opposing candles for instantaneous bias and entry time frames and why you should most likely take a look into them and why they're important to me. So the logic of opposing candles is this. If we're in bullish order flow, bearish candles serve as support within structure, basically pushing price up. If we're in bearish order flow, bullish candles act as resistance, pushing price down. How can we use this on a day-to-day basis, even when price is structurally not the best? I'll show you here. So first off, everybody knows how I like to start off the day. It's going to be with the 1 hour time frame. We have the 1 hour swing that we swept. We understand that. Go to the 15-minute time frame. What do we have? Obviously, we have a high, a higher low, a higher high, a lower low. We rebalance, right? Measuring from this high to this lower low. That range is the OTE. Usually price is going to reject or push past if it wants to go beyond that. What do we get? A rejection of a 0.79. Cool. We all understand that. The first time frame I'm going to use for this is the 15-minute time frame. So if we're bearish, bullish candles are going to resist price. Take a look at this bullish candle. What does it do? It's pushed down, right? But you can't really catch this on the 15-minute that easily. If you miss this, it's over, right? Now, if we're bullish, bearish candles are going to act as support. Do you see what this bearish candle acts as? Right. Support, CISD, right? But on a lower time frame, I like the 1 minute to 3 minute for this. We'll take a look here. And we'll start to see something here. So this is before my time that I'll trade. I usually focus at 9:30 or after because that's when volatility starts to kick in. So let's move forward towards that time. So around 9:30, we get this manipulation up. What occurs right after? We get this move down. What do bullish candles start acting as? Resistance, right? So realistically speaking, our stops can be placed at the bullish candle high or 50% of that high, right? Continuously. And let's keep showing. So we have this bullish candle. What does it act as now? Resistance. This bullish candle, what does it act as now? Resistance. So preferably you can pick this one since it's higher. Put your stops at the high. Go on down. Target the same thing. And obviously it continues over and over and over again, right? Bullish candle acts as resistance. You put your stops at the high. It's a little bit of a bigger stop. Put it at 50%. Again, same targets. Pretty sure it's just this low right here. And you get the point, right? So let me delete all this because we need to see what's really going on here. So bullish candle acting as resistance, still bearish. Bullish candle still acting as resistance, still bearish. Bullish candle still acting as resistance, still bearish. And we're using standard deviations, right? And it's telling us that we can keep going further until we see a market structure shift to the upside. This could be seen as a market structure shift to the upside, but what? We don't keep going up, right? So this manipulation down, we can measure that from this high to this low. Cool. Right around here, we start pulsing back up. This bullish candle should act as resistance if we're still bearish, but what are we doing? We're pushing beyond that, right? Well, maybe you're still not convinced. Well, this bearish candle, if price moves beyond it and acts as support, then we're in bullish territory. And what happens? Moves beyond it, acts as support. Same thing with this bearish candle, 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 and so on and so forth. This is just a simple way that you can basically navigate price without having to, you know, for example, on the 50-minute time frame, obviously you would have known price was somewhat bullish after this 50-minute CISD, but not always are you going to get that. Not always is structure going to be clean. Not always are you going to have that, right? So let's take a look at some further examples here. Let's take a look here. So again, start off on the hourly. What do we see? All right, cool. Before the hour begins, we take out a 1 hour swing. We take out a 1 hour swing high, tap into it. How's 50-minute structure looking? High, lower low, higher low, higher high. Again, your market structure shift is all the way down here. The move originates here. So let's take a look. Let's take a deeper look here. So again, we like to start at around 9:30. Let's take a look here. So at around 9:30, what's occurring? Bearish candle acting as support. So what does that mean? Some bullish price action, right? Bullish order flow. Bearish candle acting as support, bullish order flow. Bearish candle acting as support, bullish order flow. So you can have entries on all of these. Entry here, stops at the bullish candle lower, 50% of that. Doesn't matter. I'm just making sure you get used to this, used to seeing this, of course. Obviously, the 15-minute didn't provide much entry to the upside, but you're starting to see it here. And stops would really be at this low or 50%. And do you see anything being disrespected? No. This is what you're looking for. I understand making some mistakes, but when you see a move happening, right? When you see a move happening and you're looking on the 15-minute, all you're seeing is these huge candles here, but yet we found 1, 2, 3, 4 entries to the upside. You have to understand that is the goal. The goal is not to obviously be perfect and catch the bottom, but while a move is occurring, you want to be able to flow with it, and this is how you flow with it. So let me delete this here. All right, cool. So now this bearish candle right here, it should still act as support, but what does price do? It displaces below it, right? And then we see the sequence of bullish candles starting to act as what? Resistance, 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 resistance. This is where I would have been convinced. And you see how perfect stop placement is if you're just utilizing this as a um, basically as something to be on the lookout for. Because this to you would be nothing before knowing this. But this to me is pure order flow. Bullish candle, it's going to act as resistance. Put my stops at the high, maybe at the fair value gap if I want to be safer. Still very, very good R. You see that R, 135? Like, obviously, you're not going to hold that to in a prop, but in a few minutes, you have a 1 to 10, right? Like, you know. So again, acting as resistance, acting as resistance. Stops could be here, acting as resistance, stops could be here, acting as resistance, stops could be here, acting as resistance, stops could be here. I mean, there's so many entries that you can take, and they're all going to be really respected. And if, let's say, you're not comfortable with the 1 minute, you can do the 3 minute, right? So the 3 minute acting as support, stops down here, acting as support, stops down here, acting as support, stop down here, acting as resistance, stops up 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 here, you get stopped out. Huh, now what? You get stopped out. What do you do? Let's take a look. Go up a time frame, 15 minutes. So you got stopped out. right around here, right? So let's make that a different color here. And let's take a look at where that is on the 15-minute time frame. Do you see that? So you got stopped out right here, but are we bullish though? Is there any market structure shift to the upside? Like what's going on here? But what we do see when we take this off is what? A 15-minute bullish candle. And right when we create this wick, boom, you can go back to executing. You see this move up here on the lower time frames, you might have gotten stopped out. Let's take a look. Right here, you might have gotten stopped out here, but what do you see? What is done on the 15-minute time frame? What? A 50-minute bearish fair value gap. So now, when you go back to your 1-minute time frame, you're like, oh, this is a 50-minute bearish fair value gap. I see why there was a need for this big retracement up. And what do? Bullish candle right here, short, because it's acting as resistance, right? It's really, really, really simple. Um, when it comes to just identifying really what order flow is. Let's do one last one here because I don't want to make this video too long. So again, what do? We'll start off on the 1 hour time frame. What do we see? This big move here, most likely CPI, 8 a.m. This candle doesn't really do anything. It's an inside candle, but what it does do is create a bullish fair value gap on the 1 hour. So when we reprice down here, let's take a look. Even before we got to that move, let's see what occurred. So around 9:30, around 9:30, what do? This bullish candle is acting as resistance. Maybe you take a trade there, right? How would that look, right? 50%, probably 1 to 2, 1 to 3. I mean, you don't know what's really going on. Cool. Maybe you get stopped out, or not even stopped out. You would take yourself out of the trade. Why? Because let's take a look. If we're in bullish or bearish order flow, bullish candles act as resistance. This bullish candle, what is it doing? Price is slowly starting this place up. You cut that trade right around here. You wait maybe another hour, right? Because don't take a trade. Like what you should know is if your trade is not expanding in a certain direction, maybe wait another 30 minutes to maybe an hour, see what the next hour does, because this hour really just set up 10 a.m. This hour created this bullish fair value gap. So what do? We tap through this bullish fair value gap that was created with 9, 8, and 7 a.m. candles. And what do? We're having this sequence of bearish price action, bullish candle being respected, acting as resistance, bullish candle what? Now we're displacing beyond it. That's your first clue. Now we're this bearish candle here. What are you doing? It's acting as support. That's your entry. It's acting as support. That's your entry. It's acting as support. That's your entry. If you're acting as support, that's your entry. You're acting as support. That's your entry. I mean, like maybe I should show you visually how this looks again. But to me, this is just really, really, really powerful when it comes to just, riding along order flow without, being scared that you missed your position. Like, I don't know. I don't know if you're happy about this as I'm happy about showing it to you because to me, this is really a game changer when it comes to just riding along the wave. And look, even though you're okay, this is a 1 to 11. This is a 1 to 14. This is a 1 to 12. This is 1 to almost 1 to 9, 1 to 10. No matter where you're entering, you're still getting a very, very good RR. I mean, these trades, it didn't work out, right? It just didn't work out. I mean, even when we go towards this was still 1 to 3 before you got stopped out. Let's say, I don't know why you would take this trade here, but let's say you took this trade right here where This bearish candle started acting as support. I mean, it's not crazy, but you're still getting over a 1 to 2 RR, right? Like right here, stops at the low or 50%. Target maybe this high right here. That's still 1 to 6. So you can make mistakes, but what I am telling you is you won't be able to miss order flow looking at it like this. And go up the time frame, right? On the 50-minute time frame, when we're looking at structure, you really want to pay attention to where the lows and the highs are being created. So we have a higher low here, a higher high here. What is this? This is nothing to us yet because it didn't create a higher high, did it? Right? So this creates a swing low here. And do you see where entry is at? Basically at that swing low formation. So everything aligns. This is not something I'm just making up here. And do you see how many entries in this 1, 2, 3, 4 candles presented itself? 2, 3. I can't make this thing up, right? Um, and the 3 minute, the one reason I would say to use a 3 minute is let's say you're not really that comfortable yet with the 1 minute, that's fine. A 3 minute may not present as many entries, but it will be very, very clear. So, I mean, it's still presented pretty much almost as many entries as a 1 minute. Bearish candle here, bearish candle here. Um, even to the downside, bullish candle acting as resistance, bullish candle acting as resistance. So, bullish candle acting as resistance, turn to support being your first clue. Like, guys, I'm telling you, if you really listen to this, what I'm saying in this video, and you go into your charts and you annotate all the trades you've taken, I can assure you you'll find it. Have a great rest of your day, guys. I hope this is a very impactful video for you. It was requested by my group, my members, to make this public. And thanks to the generous hearts and generosity, I'm making this public. I don't want to gatekeep this because they didn't want to gatekeep it. So enjoy, spread it to your friends, and just be blessed.